promise y'all I was not a bad kid. I promise.
Smoking gas, living fast, wearing velvet.
Can you take a 4 or 5 to the pelvis? Plenty money going around, I'm not selfish.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah Monet. As you can see right down below and right next to my name, there is a subscribe button. You should press it and click the bell to see my face. Why did I tap my head? To see my face every time I upload. As y'all can see by the title, we doing another story time because y'all like my story time. Y'all said more, so I'm giving y'all more, bruh. What else? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I didn't even tell you what the story time is. The time I got caught sneaking a boy in the house. And I told this story partly on my TikTok, but I didn't go into detail because it was on TikTok. So I'm about to do this and really go into detail. You know what I'm saying? I'm opening my Lunchable right now. So this story begins during the nighttime. It was around like 8 p.m. I had a boyfriend at the time. I'm not going to disclose which ex it is because y'all know my exes. I'm not going to disclose which ex it is. Just know it was one of them. Why do Capri Suns be going in one sip? So I was with my ex at the time. And he was basically like, oh, I should come over. Let me come over. Because I used to sneak him over at night. And we used to just be in my basement. And it's how I was living with my foster mom. So he was like, yeah, I'm gonna come over later on or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I was waiting for my foster mom to go to bed, right? Because usually she goes to bed pretty early because she goes to work pretty early. I'm in my room texting him around like 8-9 o'clock. And I'm like, all right, I'm about to see if she's asleep. So I walk in her room and she's not there. I'm like, Miss Girl, where is you at? I'm trying to do sneaky things. I'm trying to do a sneaky thing and you're not here in your bed where you're supposed to be. I text him, I'm like, yo, she not here. I'm like, we're gonna have to wait it out. We're gonna have to wait for her to get home so then I can sneak you in. Cause I didn't want to like sneak him in while she was on her way home. Cause what if she pulled up and I was mid bringing him in the house, you know what I mean? So I was like, let me just wait until she get home. So it gets around to like 10 o'clock and I'm like, yo, why is she? And she never stays out late. So I'm like, you're doing it. At this point,
now you're chasing clout. That's what we're not going to do.
And then I knew she was going to come home, but it's not like she was going to stay out all night because she had work the next day because I knew her schedule. So I'm texting him. We're going to call him Kit Kat. But I'm texting Kit Kat and I'm like, yo, I don't know where she at. And he's like, all right, I'm going to just wait and just come like later on. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's fast forward to like 11 o'clock. No, let's forward to like 1 o'clock at night. I'm texting Kit Kat and he's like, is she coming home? Like, I don't think she coming home. And then I finally hear the door open and it's her and she's drunk as hell, y'all. I'm like, Miss Girl, can you get in your bed so like I can do what I'm doing? Like, I understand you trying to have a good time, but bro, go get in your bed. You got work in the morning. Get your ass in the car. She stumbles up the steps, stumbles into her room. And then she in her room. At the time, I had a sister. Well, not really a sister. My foster mom had a daughter. And she was living in the house. So I told her daughter, I was like, yo, go see what she doing. Go tell me when she falls asleep. So I can sneak him in. So she went in her room. And I was texting her, like, asking her, like, what's going on? Like, what is she in there doing? Her daughter's texting me talking about something. Oh, yeah, she said she packing her bag and she going back to her man house. I was like, her man house? Girl, go to bed. Like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning at this point. It's like, you got work in the morning. What are you doing? You know what I mean? She's like, yeah, she packing her bag, dumb slow. She waiting for Bo to get here. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm texting Kit Kat and I'm like, I basically tell him what I just told y'all. And I'm like, wait it out. Because me and him, like, we always stayed up late so he could come over. So it was nothing. But it was just getting aggravating because it's like, can you hurry up? Like, so she's in her room packing and like 20 minutes go by and I'm texting her daughter and I'm like, yo, what is she doing now? Like, where's her boyfriend at? Is he gonna come get her or what? Tell him to pull up. Like, give me his number. I'll text him myself. Like, she's like, I don't know. She said he's taking forever. She's just waiting for him. I'm like, now just the boyfriend is taking forever. Like, call him. Like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You definitely got work in the morning. Like, why are you acting like this is okay for him to be taking forever? But anyway, like an hour goes by at this point, and I'm like, so is he coming or what? Like, her daughter texts me talking about something. She falling asleep in her bed. I'm like, all right, so she's not leaving out. She's not leaving out. So then I get in my brain. I'm like, you know what? I might tell Kit Kat to come over, and I'm gonna just sneak him in anyway cause she's drunk. She's laying in her bed. She's halfway falling asleep. I'm finna just tell him to come over. Like, I can get him in the house. Only one problem was the front door. It was in the house. This is the front door, and then her room is like right on top of it. So anybody that comes to the door, if they talk, she can hear him. So I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, come now, but you know when you get to my door, shut the fuck up until we get in the basement. Cause I don't know if she's gonna hear you on some drunk shit, or I don't know. I tell him to come, and fast forward to like an hour later, he gets here, and she still didn't leave out yet. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, bro? So he's walking up the block, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just sneak him in at this point. Like, it's whatever. Like, she's falling asleep in her bed. She obviously not leaving, so I might just sneak him in. So he gets to the door. I bring him in. I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up, because he's loud as fuck laughing. I'm like, what are you laughing for? Shut the fuck up. Like, the assignment is to get in the basement. Get in the basement. So we get in the basement or whatever, undetected. We down there, we just chilling for real. And then I'm texting the daughter, and I'm like, yo, did she leave yet? She's like, nah, she fell asleep. She not leaving. I'm like, all this time I could have been snuck him in just for her to say she not leaving. Huh? Hello? Like, so we in the basement, we just chilling. And remember I said she had work in the morning. So we was just chilling, whatever, until like, he got there around like 3. So she usually got up for work at 6. So we had like 3 hours just to chill. We like probably like took a nap, probably 8. Just did like dumb shit. You know what you do when you with your whatever. So 6 o'clock rolls around, and then we like, all right, we gotta get out of the basement. We gonna go upstairs into my room, and we get up in my room around like 5 before it hit 6, because I said she'd get up at 6. So we go in my room around like 6, and we end up like just laying in my bed. Now I had a bunk bed when I was living with my stepmom, my foster mom. I had a bunk bed. So the top bunk was mine, and the bottom bunk was my foster mom's daughter's bed, right? And my foster mom daughter and my boyfriend at the time did not get along. She did not like him. I don't know why, but she really just didn't like him. If you think about it, that wasn't just my room, it was both of our rooms. But if you really think about it, at the time, my stepmom's daughter was not even staying in the room. Like, she was literally sleeping in the room with her mom every night. So it was kind of like it was my room, because I was the only one that was in there all the time. But back to the story, me and him was up in my room at like 6 when she was getting ready for work. So I was telling him, yo, we gotta stay up until she leave, just in case she walk in my room or something. Even though I had my door locked, she could have like knocked on the door, and then I would have had to like throw him in a closet or something like that. She must be downstairs making her coffee, because it's her time to be up, and this is usually the time she makes her coffee, around like 6:30. So I was like, all right, let me go downstairs and like talk to her to make her like maybe leave faster. Like, I was trying to annoy her so she would like just leave out faster or something like that. Bro, it's 11 o'clock at night. Why are there motorcycles? Shut up. So I go downstairs and I start talking to her. I'm just like, oh, I like your hair. I like this, I like that. Just to try to make her be like, yo, this bitch is so annoying. I'm leaving. Like, so I was just talking to her. I was just like, just trying to get her to leave. And finally, she's like, Mariah, you're so annoying. And she left. I'm like, cool. That's exactly what I wanted. So she left out. I went back upstairs, and then we fell back asleep. And crazy part is, this same day was the first day back to school, but it was online school, of course. So it was the first day I was supposed to get on like virtual class with my camera on, everything like that. And he was still there. Remember that he didn't start school yet. Because he went to like a different type of school. So I woke back up with him around like 7 or 8, because I started class at like 8. So I woke up and got in the shower and stuff like that, and he got in the shower with me. So when we were in the shower, we were taking a long ass time, because you gotta think about it, that's 2 bodies that gotta get clean, whatever. So we in the shower, and then my foster mom's daughter gets to banging on the bathroom door. Hurry up. And I know that she assumed that he already went home. So she was thinking that it was just me in there, and I was just taking forever. So me and him get out the bathroom finally. I run him to my room, and then we're just in there, we getting dressed and stuff like that. And like I said, she doesn't like him, so he likes to play. Well, he did like to play. So he would like sit on her bed and like just draw, touch her stuff, just draw, just to be a dumbass. So he was sitting on her bed, and then she came in the room because the door was unlocked at this point because my foster mom was at work. So I had the door unlocked because I'm like, I don't give a fuck if anybody else come in. So she walked in the door and see him sitting on her bed, and she was like, yo, Mariah, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm not the one sitting on your bed, sweetheart. I know that was my boyfriend at the time, but talk to him. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, Mariah, what the fuck? Why is he on my bed? Mariah, what the fuck? And like, it wasn't like I told him to sit on your bed. He's just an ass, and he decided that he wanted to sit on your bed. He just thought it was funny. He was like, what's up? What's up? What's up? Like, once I'm like, hey, he was a dumbass. And she was just like, looking at him like, I'm like, girl, that evil look is not scaring anybody. Trust me, it's not scaring anybody. But she just gave him the evil look, and then she walked out. And I'm just like, okay. Fast forward the rest of the day, he finally left around like 12-ish, right? So school was over around like 3, and this same day I had a interview at a job. So he left, whatever, after school. I leave out for my interview. I'm on a bus, and I realized I forgot to text my foster mom and tell her that I had an interview. So I texted her, and I was like, yo, I'm on my way to this interview. And she's like, no, you need to come home. We need to talk. When I tell y'all my heart dropped, I was like, girl, what do we need to talk about? What is it? So and then I'm just like, what is it? Like, I'm like already here, and she's just not responding at all. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm thinking in my head, like, this bitch just trying to fuck up my interview. She just praying on my downfall. Like, she don't want to see me get a job whole time. So I go to the interview like a bad bitch. I go to the interview because who are you to tell me I can't go to my interview? It's for my job. I'm grown. Let me go to my interview. So I go to my interview, and then I come back home. And then by the time I get back home, she's still not even home from work yet. So I knew what I was doing. I get home, I go in my room, and I basically just chill, and I'm waiting for her to get home to see what the fuck she want. Because I assumed that she wasn't like talking about me sneaking him over, because like I said, she went to work, she got out. But then I thought back, and I was like, hold on, what about that little incident when she looked at him when he was on her bed? So I went to my foster mom's daughter, and I was like, yo, like, I know you're mad, but did you tell your mom that he was over? Like, are you really snitching? Like, are you really snitching? Is that what we're doing? She was like, I didn't tell her anything. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know why she wants to have a talk. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'm like, okay, Miss Girl, calm down. If you didn't say anything, then what is she talking about? She's just like, I don't know. I'm like, all right, cool. So at that point, she was the only one that knew that he came over. So I'm like, all right, it can't be about that. So I started chilling. Like, I was like, I'm chilling. She finally gets home, and I heard her when I was in my room. I heard her coming through the door. I mean, this lady must have been Godzilla cousin, because she walks to the door. Everybody in the living room right now. I'm like, fuck, is this a family meeting? Like, what do you mean in the living room? I thought you wanted to talk to me. How did me go to we? Like, you said me, not the whole house and the peanut gallery in the back. So we all go downstairs, and then I go to intercept, and she looking at me like, I'm like, bitch, what are you looking at? Like, I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? Like, what did I do to you? So I sit down in the little living room chair, and she's just staring at me the whole time, and I'm like, can you stop making that face at me? Ugh. So I'm just sitting there like not knowing what's going on, and I was in a good mood, because I was like, she obviously don't know about him coming over, because her daughter told me that she didn't tell her. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So her daughter finally comes downstairs, and then my foster mom is like, so what are my rules of the house? I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking? Like, get to your point. Like, what are you mad for? Get to your point. You're wasting your breath. Just say what you're mad for and punish whoever you're mad at. You know what I mean? Like, why do parents waste their breath? What are my rules of the house? What do I tell you guys not to do? Bro, just say what you want to say. You know what I mean? Like, she's just like, Mariah, what are my rules of the house? I'm like, if you're just talking to me, why is everybody else here? I'm like, bro, I don't know. Do the dishes, do your chores. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, that and what else? I'm like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. And you know, the crazy part is the way I talk to like on camera, the way I talk like on social media is the same way I talk to everybody in real life. So the way I'm talking to y'all right now is exactly how I was talking to her. I was like, I really don't know what you're talking about. Do you want me to do my chores? Like, what is it? She's like, basically, long story short, she's like, what am I worried about somebody coming in my house? I'm like, oh shit. How does she know that he came in the house? How does she know? If you didn't tell her. So you are a snitch. So she's just like, Mariah, what are my rules if somebody coming in the house? I'm like, ain't nobody coming in the house. I know what you're talking about. Y'all, I fled out loud. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Cause it's like, she didn't have no video proof. So it could be just word of mouth. Like somebody could really just be lying to you. Like, don't believe everything you hear. You know what I mean? Like, she's just like, Mariah, I know you had a boy in my house. Was you fucking him in your bed? I'm like, and if I was, but she's just going off. And I'm just like, lady, calm down. Like, it already happened. Like, you're crying over spilled milk. Like, just punish me at this point, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, y'all know I had to make up a whole story. I was like, first of all, he ain't had nowhere to go last night, and he gay, so no, I wasn't fucking him. He ain't had nowhere to go. He got into an argument with his parents, and that's why I let him come over, because he needed somewhere to go. So then she's just like, well, why didn't you just ask me? I was like, it's the middle of the night, you were asleep. She was like, well, his parent should have came and got him. I'm like, bro, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're just talking. Shut up. She finally is just like, I'm very, very disappointed in you and da-da-da-da. I'm like, girl, save it. Save it for somebody who gives a fuck, because I don't. I'm sorry, I didn't like her, y'all. Y'all probably like, oh my God, Mariah's being so mean. No, I didn't like her, y'all, and there's multiple reasons why I didn't like her. But I was just like, save it for somebody who cares, bro. So I go in my room and I'm minding my business, because she didn't do anything. She didn't ground me. She didn't take my phone. She didn't do anything. Like, fuck. So I go in my room and I'm sitting here like, at this point I'm not even mad. I'm really just sitting there on the phone with Kit Kat, and I'm like, how did she find out that you came over? And then he's like, it had to be her daughter. Like, she had to have told her. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to go talk to her daughter right now. I'm about to figure out what's going on. So I go to her daughter and I pull her aside and I'm like, so how did your mom find out? She's like, I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her. I don't know. I didn't tell her. I'm like, okay, you didn't tell her. Cool. How did she find out? Like, come on, cut the bullshit. What really happened? She's like, I just told, what were we gonna call her? So my foster mom's daughter had an older sister, right? And her older sister had a friend. We're gonna call her friend JT from City Girls. So JT and my foster mom's daughter were really close, I guess, but she's like older, right? So she's like really cool with like my foster mom. So JT and my foster mom's daughter used to talk a lot. So basically, my foster mom's daughter called JT after she seen Kit Kat in her bed, and she was like, yeah, Kit Kat was just in my bed, and Mariah had him in my bed, and she really snuck him over, and it's really getting on my nerves, and I'm really very overwhelmed by it, and I just didn't know what to do, and I don't want you to tell my mom, but like, if you do, oh well. Like, bitch, why would you tell JT knowing that JT is cool with your mother? Obviously she's gonna snitch. So the daughter was like, oh, I told her not to tell my mom. I told her. Did you really think that she really was not gonna tell your mom? Bro, shut the fuck up. So I finally found out how she fucking found out. And I'm like, of course. So you still snitched. At the end of the day, you still snitched. So whatever. I basically got in trouble. Like, she really didn't do anything for real. So yeah. I was mad as shit when I found out how it actually happened. I'm like, you're a snitch. And since that day, me and my foster mom's daughter will never be cool again, because you're a fucking snitch. And the crazy part is, she's a hypocrite too, y'all, because she used to sneak her boyfriend out all the time. And I ain't say nothing about his dirty, musty ass. Sorry, I said what I said. If you see the video, he was dirty, he was musty. Simple as that. Period. Cut the tape. But anyways, if y'all like the story time, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. And if y'all want more story times like this, because I have plenty of story times about me back when I lived in my foster mom house, because there was some dirty, grimy shit going on in there. So if y'all like these, comment and tell me what y'all want to see, and I got y'all. But until the next video, peace.
Smoking
gas, living fast, wearing velvet.
Can you take a 4 or 5 to the pelvis?